All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Hard Work, Bad Decisions, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let's talk about it. Today, we're going to talk about UFC 257, and I'm super excited because it's 2021. We haven't done an episode in a very long time. This is our first one coming back, and we're going to do one about the biggest card in a very long time. And I got my boy, Dylan King.
Let's go.
So I'm going to preface this with, I brought Dylan King on this show, this episode, and he's gonna be doing this with me, all the pre-fight predictions and post-fight breakdown. And I really brought him on the show because he knows way more about MMA fighters, their stats, their numbers than I do. Like, you could break it down and tell me stuff. I'm like, I don't even know who that person is. I can't even pronounce their name. And you got it. Why are you such a UFC or MMA encyclopedia?
I really do love this game, and it means everything to me now. I didn't realize that when I was just a fan, but it was the same way. Names stuck with me, faces stuck with me, numbers stuck with me, and
like the Rain Man.
Yeah, I'm like the Rain Man.
He's not smart at anything else, but for some reason, he got it down packed, man.
Yeah, this is my game, man.
Okay, so UFC 257, that's gonna be happening in Fighter Island, Abu Dhabi, with Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirer. We're gonna give our pre-fight prediction. We're gonna save the main fight prediction to the tail end. We're gonna talk about some of the other fights, particularly the prelims, and we're gonna pick a couple fights that we feel like stand out and give our prediction on those fights, and also talk a little bit about the odds and see who's the underdog, who's the favorite. So, what is one fight on the undercard that stands out to you?
The Arman versus Nasrat fight.
Okay.
That one I'm really looking forward to. Both tough guys. Both got some big wins, couple losses, but Arman, man, he's a beast. And his most recent loss out of his two was to Islam Makhachev, which is Khabib's training partner. And Islam's a beast, so I don't take it too hard on him, and he came back and he's got a good win since then. And Nasrat lost to our boy Drew Dober.
Oh yeah, Drew. Okay, Drew the homie. Okay.
Dober, and he come back and got a decision win. So I think it's going to be a good fight, but I'm going to have to pick the favorite on this one and go with Arman.
Okay, so Arman. By the way, I'm going to be honest. I don't know who these guys are, but Arman is the favorite by 240, and so you going with him?
Yep, and everybody knows Nasrat because he looks like Kelvin
Gastelum?
Yeah,
the homie. Okay, cool. Well, you know what? I'm gonna trust your pick on this one. So, Arman, we going with you.
That's it.
Don't prove us wrong, right? One fight that stands out to me is the Sarah McMahon versus Julia Pena, and the reason why, I believe the 135-pound division has took a back step when it comes to the women divisions, right?
Yeah.
Right now, a lot is about the 115, really just the 115. Actually, maybe the 125 because you got Valentina, she's a dominant champion. But the 115 is where I think it's kind of popping. But the 135, that used to be
the women's club.
Yeah, it used to be the only division.
Yeah.
Right now, it's like nobody talking about them anymore since Ronda Rousey has been gone and Amanda Nunes has been so dominant.
Yeah, I think that happens in a lot of weight divisions when there's a dominant champ like that, and I think it's happening at 25 too with Valentina.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to find her another validated opponent.
Yeah, so now they're just trying to set up fights to where they can move one girl up and justify it as she got to win.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of hard right now. We're in a weird spot, but I do think this is a good fight for the bantamweights.
Yeah.
I think
my dog is over there chewing on something. Give me a second, guys. You know, Ali being Ali.
It's that cute boy.
Yeah. Okay. Take away a little chew toy, but I give you a treat. Continue, brother.
Yo, he's not even happy about that.
Yeah, you know.
I think this fight is good. I think McMahon, she's got really good wrestling, and so does Pena, but I don't think it's on the same level as McMahon. So I think it'll be a good fight. I think it's a good contender fight for this bantamweight division.
Well, so I used to love Sarah McMahon because she got a soft place in my heart because of the fact that she's a wrestler. I mean, she won silver in the Olympics, right? And I love wrestlers coming from my wrestling background. And I thought she was going to be the biggest threat to Ronda Rousey. And it was such an interesting matchup because of the fact that you got a bronze judo and a silver wrestler. And we're going to see which one was more important, you know, as far as grappling goes, judo or wrestling. Well, the fight actually never got any grappling, and Sarah McMahon lost by a knee to the body.
Yeah,
so
TKO, quick.
So and then from there she had some ups and downs. And Julia Penner was coming off the season, Ultimate Fighter season after mine, season 18.
Yeah.
And once again, she had some ups and downs. Got pregnant and had a beautiful baby, and she had a major injury.
Yeah.
So it's good to see them matching up finally and see who's going to take it to the next level, and potentially give Amanda Nunes a really great fight because she needs another contender.
I am pretty sure that Pena's coming off a loss, and so she might have a little fire under her butt, and she might be pushing hard. But I think Sarah's a grinder, man. So it's gonna be a tough fight either way.
I'm gonna have to go with Sarah.
I think I'm gonna go with you and pick Sarah on that one.
Okay, all right. So you're going with Sarah. So what's another prelim fight that you're looking forward to?
The Mosar versus Nick Lentz fight.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to see how Mosar performs. He's got a lot of hype behind him. He's undefeated, but he's fighting a tough guy with a lot of UFC experience.
Nick Lentz.
Yeah, and I mean he's scrappy. He's wily. He's got good ground game. So I'm excited to see how he can deal with this moment.
Well,
But he's a huge underdog, or
Yeah.
a huge favorite.
yeah. I'll tell you. Actually, he's probably the biggest favorite on the fight card thus far. So it looks like the odds maker is giving him the win. Because right now he's a negative 420, as Nick Lentz is a positive 330. So right now it looks like on paper Nick Lentz should lose this fight.
It looks like that, but if you're into betting,
That
that could be a good underdog bet to put your money on. Don't be mad at me though if he doesn't win.
And once again, I don't even know what I do this, man. I swear, I watch fights, but it's so funny because we got so many guys, especially coming from Russia. Like all these names look the same to me, and I don't remember that, but it sticks in your mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
It happens to me on our local circuit too. I remember everybody's names. I remember everybody's face.
Yeah. You're always asking me about this fight. I'm like, I don't know. I'm so horrible at this. I need to pay attention. Okay, so you are going with the favorite.
Yep.
Okay, and you said he's undefeated.
Yeah, he's undefeated, and he's been tearing people up.
Okay, well, I guess we're gonna ride with that. All right, so let's talk about the main card, right? It seems like you got some exciting fights and some potential up-and-comers, some contenders. The first one is going to be the females, Amanda versus Morena. Who do you got?
I definitely am picking Amanda on this one. She's really well-rounded. She's got a couple good wins. She beat PVZ a while back, Paige Vanzant.
Okay.
And
I remember that one.
yeah, Paige was coming off a little bit of a layoff, but I mean, she looked good. And
what do you think about Paige fighting bare knuckles?
it's pretty wild.
I mean, she's going from being like an Instagram model
Yeah, that's
to
pretty
fighting
wild.
bare knuckles. That's crazy.
You're gonna have to pay me to get me to fight bare knuckle.
I'm never fighting bare knuckles. Like, and it's not even about the impact. It's just like you get cut.
Yeah, you get cut easy every time.
Yeah, you get cut so easily. Like I don't understand this, but shit. I mean, if you want to do it, knock yourself out.
I
I'm not doing
guarantee there's a paycheck behind that for her. Though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like right now, she's on the next pay-per-view, right? I think their first real big pay-per-view, and they're really trying to push this.
They are pushing it.
I mean, more power to them, man.
Yeah, but Hibas is another big favorite, negative 310, and so I think that it's a pretty big favorite. Marina's really good too. She only has a couple losses, but I do think Amanda's gonna win.
Okay.
Yeah, she's tough. She's scrappy. She's looking for finishes.
Yeah, I remember watching Amanda fight Paige. I'm definitely gonna ride with her. I think she's coming off of a big win. I think she got a lot of confidence,
A lot of momentum.
and so Amanda it is. I feel like I'm either agreeing with you or I'm just listening to you because I don't know who the fighter is. But let's keep going. All right, Ottman versus Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in the lightweight division, who you got?
This one's a little bit closer. I think Matt's coming off a win off of Luis Pena.
Oh, that's the homie.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that, man.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, it's tough to watch. Definitely had to pick my boy, but
yeah, because Luis Pena came out to Colorado, trained with us a couple years back, maybe like 2 years. I think it was been like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
right?
it was right before that.
Yeah,
that
great guy.
Card up in Denver.
Yeah.
But you know, I do think this guy Ottman Azutar, he's a savage, man. He's undefeated. Most of his wins are by finishes. His last performance in the UFC was a big finish, and I think he's probably gonna do it again, man. He's got heavy hands. Matt's good. He's a good fighter, but I do think this guy Ottman, he's got that power. Yeah,
right? And the power could definitely make a difference. So yeah, Ottman it is. Okay, moving on to this one is really cool. Joanne versus Jessica I. Now, Joanne is a very interesting storyline because she was supposed to fight for the title against Valentina, and Valentina had to pull out, so Joanne took another fight, you know, to stay busy or maybe to do a favor for the UFC because they need someone to take that fight slot, and she ended up losing that fight.
Yeah, it was tough, man. And then, you know, Jennifer Maia went on to fight Valentina, and she had a good round against Valentina, and everybody was freaking out.
Just one good round.
Yeah.
It's one good round. I mean, God forbid if Valentina lose a round.
You're not allowed to lose one round.
Yeah.
But I think it's got to be tough, man. You basically have that guarantee
Title shot,
and then it's gone like that.
Well, I mean, you take chances in this fight game. Yeah. So, fighting Jessica I. Now, you have to assume, because Joanne had a title shot, and Jessica I actually fought for the title, you have to assume that this could be like the next top contender, the next challenger for the title.
Yes.
And hope, or I'm assuming, you know, Dana White would never say it, and matchmakers would never say it, but they know. They want Joanne to win because she has a little bit of a name, and she was already slotted to fight Valentina, so if she wins, she's probably going to get a title shot.
And, you know, the way that Jessica I lost to Valentina, it was just a nasty head kick. She didn't have much offense.
Yeah.
She didn't really have a good showing at all. And so it's going to be hard to get people excited about watching that rematch. So I think if Joanne wins, that's way better for the UFC.
But do you think that, you know, Jessica could use that as like motivation to like upset everything, to turn everything upside down, piss everybody off, and be like, no, you counting me out, but I'm still here.
You know, I think that's a valid point. I think it might be giving her that extra push. She needs that extra motivation. But I think if I go to like fight styles, Joanne Calderwood is way more technical than Jessica I when I watch them fight.
Yeah.
I think Jessica's a good grinder. She can grapple, she can get people tired. And I think that's kind of where Joanne has had issues.
Yeah.
So, but Joanne is on the other side. She's way crisper on the feet. Jessica does not look great on the feet.
Yeah.
So I think this fight is really going to depend on who can control where it goes.
And on the fights, on the odds, they're pretty close. They're really close. Although Joanne is still a slight favorite.
Yeah, just barely.
Yeah, you know what? I'm obviously gonna go with Joanne because I really want to see Joanne fight Valentina. Valentina, she needs another contender, and another challenger, and a fresh face.
Yeah.
I know they may be talking about Valentina fighting Amanda Nunes for a third time, which I'm down for. But as far as the 125-pound division, this is gonna be important.
Yeah, and maybe a little controversial here, but anytime I hear Jessica I talk, man, she drives me crazy.
Why?
She missed weight on her last fight.
Yeah.
She looked bad on the weight scale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then I heard her doing this interview, and she's like, "Well, why didn't anybody ask me how I was?" It's like, God, we're paid to make weight.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest parts of our job.
Yeah.
Make weight, fight.
Yeah. That's what they say for me. Actually, I used to say that. I get paid to make weight, I will fight for free.
I have fun. Yeah,
You know?
I get to go do what I love after I make weight.
Yeah.
And it drives me crazy. Like, I mean, she's looking for sympathy or whatever, and I just don't want to hear a whole nother fight camp leading up.
Yeah, especially someone like you, like, you know, because you're an up and comer and you haven't got those big paydays. So like, you're looking at these big UFC fighters that's making way more money than we ever made, and like, how are you missing weight and getting paid this money? Like for me, if I'm getting paid all this money, I'm going to make weight. I'm not giving up a portion of my pay to anyone. And the fact that this company is paying me a good chunk of money to make weight and put on a good performance, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
As a professional, I'm going to do it. So like, I did it getting paid shit money.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
So if you're gonna pay me real money, I'm definitely doing it.
Yeah. I mean,
so I understand you.
From amateurs to now, I've never missed weight. I don't ever plan on it.
Yeah.
That's part of being a professional is making your weight.
Yeah.
I got called to wood on this one.
Easy one. Okay. It's like we agreed on everything. All right.
Yeah,
Here we go. So far, right? To the co-main event, we got Dan Hooker versus Michael Chandler. Okay. Great storyline. Dan Hooker is coming off a Fight of the Year candidate against Dustin Poirer, but it was a loss.
Yeah, it was a loss, but it was an absolute banger.
Yeah, it was a bang.
And I don't think his stock went down at all.
Okay.
From that fight.
All right, but it's still a loss.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But you know, he's a tough kid. He's smart, and I saw an interview that he's talking about. He didn't fight smart.
Yeah.
That fight, he went out there to put on a performance of the night or a fight of the night. He didn't go out there to win, dominantly get out unscathed. And
sometimes those two things don't go hand in hand. Sometimes you want to put on a really great show, which sometimes it leads you to not fighting as smart. Because fighting smart would mean like you're not going to be as excited. Yeah. You're going to do what is needed to win. Yeah. It could be like, I'm just going to jab, move, I'm going to take him down, I'm holding out for a little bit. It could be a little bit boring. So you're like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to be excited. I want the fans to love me. I want Dana White to be happy. Yeah. So I'm going to be excited. I'm going to slang. I'm going to bang it out, which can lead to you potentially losing the fight.
Losing brain cells.
Yeah, right.
KO'd, all that.
So it's good that Dan Hooker saw that, because that's what happened with like GSP.
Yes.
Like, because he went through a phase that he was exciting.
Yes.
And then after that, he kind of went a little bit boring for a little bit.
After that Sarah fight.
Yeah. So he was wrestling and taking everybody down. I feel like, man, GSP is not finishing anyone, but he's winning, and he's winning in a dominant fashion.
Yes, and he's showing how good you can be with an IQ.
Yeah, with a fight IQ, correct.
But I do think, though, that Chandler doesn't care if he goes out there and is exciting or not.
I don't know, man. I think Chandler's in a position. He understands with a good win, with a good dominant win, he could be on line for a title shot.
I do agree. I don't think. I'm hoping he doesn't take that into too much of a factor leading into the fight. I saw an interview where he said, he's got to leave all that behind him and just go fight and not worry about getting the big knockout, not worry about, do I gotta wrestle so Khabib wants to come back. He wants to go out there and win this fight. And I think from the way, it's hard because you can only hear somebody talk, but he seems like he's confident. He seems like he's not being flustered by the moment.
Well, okay, and you know what? The fact that he almost already had a fight, he cut weight for the Khabib versus Justin Gaethje fight. Yeah, so he already been to Fight Island. He kind of went through the whole UFC media and he went through the whole program with the UFC without actually fighting. So mentally, he's kind of prepared. He already feel like he's part of the UFC.
He's
circle.
Almost made that walk. I mean, he's close.
I would say that Dan Hooker was talking about he is specifically made for wrestlers. He's long and tall, and he's good. He's a rangy guy.
Yeah.
So Dan Hooker is extremely confident. Now, here's some inside information. Michael Chandler flight came in super late, and so when your flight comes in late, especially when you're fighting somewhere like Abu Dhabi, and you still got a weight cut, you still got to do the whole quarantine type thing, and it could really throw off your rhythm and your game plan that you have structured for the fight week. I wonder if that's going to play any role. Should it? Because at a profession, you got to be the roll with the punches.
Yes.
But sometimes little small things could just annoy you and kind of could throw you off.
Okay, so I think, you know, Chandler's been wrestling since he was little kid. I can imagine he's probably dealt with
A lot of craziness.
a lot of schedule changes, things not working out the way they're supposed to, and he's had to adapt. Hopefully he can do the same here. Hooker, I will go back to the point you made. I mean, the guy is really good at timing those knees when people are coming in. He's working with Izzy and Volkanovski out there at
City Boxing.
Yeah, City Boxing.
Yeah.
And you know, those guys have great takedown defense. I mean, Izzy's got great takedown defense. Volkanovski's got some pretty good wrestling. He was able to get Max down a couple of times in that second fight. Yeah, man, I'm gonna pick Chandler. Yeah, I'm going with Chandler.
Wait, you were just talking about Dan Hooker.
Yeah, he's good. Man. I think if Chandler can mind his P's and Q's, he wins this fight.
Okay.
I think he's got the cardio, the strength and conditioning. I've been watching it. The strength and conditioning he does is crazy.
Yeah.
Through the roof stuff. I like Hooker a lot. I think he's a good guy, good fighter. But I think Chandler, he's got that grind and he's got heart. I think he's got it, man.
Well, I will say the Chandler does have championship level experience. He has done multiple 5 rounds.
Yeah.
He was the man in Bellator. But me personally, I'm gonna go with Dan Hooker, and I'm gonna go with Dan Hooker for a couple of different reasons. Besides just the skill set, just being part of the UFC and constantly fighting top guys. I believe Dan Hooker is going to be like, this is my home. UFC is my home. You are just getting here. I'm not going to let you take what I've been building up thus far. So I think Dan Hooker is going to show Mike Chandler there's levels to it. There's levels between UFC and Bellator, which is not really, but he's going to use that for inspiration.
Well, you know what's interesting is Michael Chandler, out of both of these guys, already has a win over a former UFC champion.
True. Oh, yeah, but then that champion came back and beat him before he left Bellator, so which is Eddie Alvarez.
Oh, Benson. I mean, so I guess he's got wins over 2 former UFC champions.
Okay, fair enough. But I just think Dan Hooker, he's been in the UFC game. He understands that octagon, which is a little bit different than fighting in the Bellator circle. And I think he's gonna this is my home, and he's gonna dictate it.
I think Chandler's gonna say, I'm coming into your home and I'm gonna take your stuff, man.
I think you are wrong. So, all right. So we finally disagreeing?
Yeah, this is it.
It's official.
This is the one.
Okay. Well, once again, the odds makers have it very, very even. So it's 132 to 110. So I guess
it's a pick 'em. Either way. I think either choice isn't a bad choice, but I'm going with Chandler on this one.
Okay. Here we go.
All right.
Here we go. Main event.
What everyone's waiting for.
Yeah, Conor, the notorious McGregor versus Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Okay. So there's a storyline with this. They already fought.
Storyline, yeah.
They already fought. Not only they already fought. Conor McGregor knocked them out in the first round.
Yeah, and I think it was like a minute and 40-some seconds. It was a quick one. That's hard to get over. That is tough.
Yeah, but that was at 145.
That was at 145, and I do think Dustin was killing himself to make that. And not to say Conor wasn't either, because he didn't look great at 45 either. He looked super depleted. But I do think that Dustin might have been cutting a little bit more than Conor was.
So now that we fast forward, Dustin Poirier has put on some great performance, even beating one of the guys in the co-main event, Dan Hooker. He's beaten Justin Gaethje. He has beaten Eddie Alvarez. He has beaten some of the top guys in the 155-pound division. And it's funny enough, both of them have lost to Khabib, the #1 guy, in the same fashion. Okay, so I have to assume Dustin Poirier is coming in with a lot of confidence and with something to prove. He need to get some get back.
Yes, he definitely has. I bet you he's got a fire under him. But my fear, I've really been going back and forth on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, almost every hour I'm going back and forth on this one. Dustin is a savage, and his only loss recently is to Khabib.
Okay.
Conor's got a couple losses recently.
Yeah.
Lost to Nate. Lost to Khabib as well.
lost to Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, if we're talking boxing.
Yeah. It happened. I mean, a fight is a fight, man.
A fight is a fight.
Yeah.
But I do think Dustin's chin has been much more durable at 55 too.
True.
He only had that one fluke loss, in my opinion, to Michael Johnson.
Yeah.
He got caught. Well, didn't see it coming. But we've seen him in bangers since then, where he's taking shot after shot. So I don't know if he's gonna be able to take Conor's power.
What do you think about Conor McGregor, like physical body? Cause he looks ripped. He looked cut up from the butt up.
Yeah.
And like, you know, he looks like, I'm shocked he can even make 155.
Yeah, he looks jacked. I mean, he looks like he's been putting some work in for this one. I think that he looks way different than he did even for his fight against Eddie. Yeah, he looks way bigger. I'm curious to see how he looks weigh-in day. He's never had an issue making weight, so I'm not worried about him making weight.
Yeah, his last couple fights have been on 170, so he's finally back in 155-pound division.
Yeah, no, 170 he wasn't having a cut at all.
Yeah. He was weighing in way below 170, like 160, something like that.
I'm curious to see what happens in the first minute of the fight. I think Dustin's a little bit of a slow starter, and Conor's obviously a fast starter. That's when he wins most of his fights, his first round. Dustin usually takes a couple shots to get going. So if Dustin can survive that early storm, man, I think it does become a much closer fight than the odd makers have it.
Okay.
I think the odd makers have it set for about the first round.
Okay, so listen, we know this for a fact. For the game of MMA, internationally wise, I think a Conor McGregor win will be bigger for MMA than a Dustin Poirier. Because Conor McGregor is an international star. He needs to keep winning to kind of keep his momentum going. Because right now, he's like bigger than life, you know what I'm saying? But if he takes another loss, people gonna be like, you know, Conor McGregor's maybe not as good as we thought he was. Because right now, everybody knows his name. So he needs to come out there and win, particularly win in a dominant fashion. And if he does, maybe he can inspire Khabib to come out of retirement, which personally, I don't believe Khabib will. I really believe that Khabib is not gonna fight again.
Yeah, I don't think Khabib will ever fight.
He's talking about his mama. He's like, my mama told me not to do it. You know, so
if I promise my mom I'm not fighting, I'm not fighting.
Yeah. But you never know if Conor McGregor come out and smash Dustin Poirier first round, maybe that could entice Khabib to come back out. So I think Conor McGregor winning is bigger for the sport. But Dustin Poirier, I mean, he's just like one of those guys you just want to root for.
Yeah, you do. I mean, he's a good guy. He does a lot of good stuff outside of the sport.
Yeah, he got his foundation and helping out the people that need help. And Conor McGregor is actually going to donate some money to his foundation. These guys are like, they've turned into like decent friends.
They've matured. I mean, you can tell from their first fight lead up to now. I mean, they're both fathers. They're both matured. They're both different guys.
You know, they got businesses and whatnot.
Yeah, I think I'm interested to see how that affects Conor because you know everybody knows him as the guy who's the mental warfare guy, get in your head and mess you up. But against his last, against Cowboy, they were civil and that was probably one of his best performances. I mean, he looked great. So I'm curious to see how that plays out in this one.
Okay, let's cut out the BS. Let's get to the point. Who you got winning?
I'm picking Conor.
You picking Notorious. No. Notorious. Are you picking Conor McGregor?
Yeah, man, I gotta do it. You know what?
I feel like I talked to you a couple days ago. I feel like you was going Dustin Poirier.
I was.
Yeah.
My heart says Dustin, but my head is.
Oh man, you flip-flopping on me. Yeah. Okay.
I want Dustin to win, but man, I think Conor he's too crisp. He's too strong, and I think he's ready. I think he's gonna take this W, man.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say this. I understand what you're saying, but I'm gonna have to disagree.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to disagree.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Dustin Poirier, partially because I like going for the underdog. I think Dustin Poirier put enough work in. He's been grinding throughout this whole all these years. As Conor McGregor been living on yachts, driving Bentleys. Dustin Poirier is sitting home grinding, and I think he's hungry. He wants to let the people know that things have changed. I'm not at 145. This ain't the old Dustin Poirier. This is a new Dustin Poirier at 155, and I'm gonna go get that belt. And I just feel like he's gonna shock Conor McGregor. Everybody's looking at Conor McGregor as this big superstar, and he is. But maybe it's time for somebody else to step up. And I think Dustin Poirier is gonna be that man.
To be fair, I mean, anybody who beats Conor, their stardom goes up.
Yeah, for sure.
Khabib went from 2 million followers. The next day, it was 12 million.
Yeah.
After he beat Conor.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would be bad for the sport. I think it's better for the sport if Conor wins.
Because I'm saying that internationally wise. Because Conor McGregor comes with a whole country.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Dustin Poirier just a regular American. And that's another reason why I'm going for Dustin Poirier. America, baby.
Oh, you're gonna go
America,
right.
come on.
I'm thinking the guy I think is gonna be the better fighter.
America, baby.
On the night.
Yeah. I'm going with my American brother. So Dustin Poirier, I'm going with it. Make it official. Are you officially picking Conor McGregor? Is it official?
Officially picking Conor.
Okay. All right. So those are the predictions that we have for UFC 257. Now, guys, write down in the comments who you think is going to win, and let's see. Saturday night, I'm excited for the fights, and we definitely going to be watching it. Now, check us out next Wednesday. We're going to have our post-fight breakdown and talk about some of the stuff that we saw, what we thought, and it's just, just kind of ramble about it.
And basically who got the co-main in the
Yeah.
right.
It was like, all right, so because you got Conor McGregor and
Michael Chandler.
And Michael Chandler. Okay, I got Dustin Poirier and Dan Hooker. Okay, get it, got it, good.
Let's go.
All right, guys, thank y'all for watching another episode of Hard Work, Bad Decisions, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let's talk about it. Oh, hold on, real quick. What do you got coming up? What's on your horizon?
We got hopefully some fight news coming up soon. I'll let you guys know as soon as we get that. We'll get some tickets, and yeah, we'll get it going.
All right, man, let's get ready. All right, we out.